Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah barakatuh. Today we're going to look further into the series of choosing friendship wisely. The first episode that we had on choosing friendship wisely, we spoke more briefly about the types of friends that we need to choose, whether they're positive or negative in our lives. Remember, I gave the analogy of an X-ray. An X-ray always shows the negative. And when you hold that negative up to the light and you look it up in the light, you start seeing, when you hold it up to the light properly, a bright light, what do you find? You start to find the cracks. You start to find problems. The doctor will take that and put it up into the bright light, and he'll be able to see exactly where the crack is on the bone. Or they'll be able to see where there's a growth, or they'll be able to see where their blood vessels are not working properly. So when you hold up a negative into the light, it doesn't look very good. So that's why in the first series, or the first episode of the series, we spoke about choosing friends wisely and how we have to make sure that we remove all the negatives from our life and we try to find positives. So we're going to look at the very important task of choosing friends. And we're going to look at some of the hadith and some of the verses from the Quran that back up what I'm saying about choosing friends wisely. Now, the more we spend time with people, the more we find out what type of personalities they actually have. And so the choices of friends that we have are they're going to influence us directly, not indirectly, but directly. They're going to affect the way we think. They're going to change the way we look at life. Now, if you don't believe me, have a look at some of your friends that you've had yourself. Have those friends made you a better person or a worse person? Have they brought you closer to Allah or taking you further away from Allah? Now, when we look at our friendships in life, we see that people definitely influence us. Sometimes you hang around a place or you go to a country and you even start talking like the people in that country. You develop an accent. You develop a character. You even start using the slang words of that country that you've come from because you are affected by people. And those are not even your friends. Those are just people that you work with, or maybe you visited on holiday, or maybe just the people in the restaurant that you met, and you are affected by these people. Now, how much more does friends affect you? And so when we look at the hadith and the Quran, we find that it gives us advice and guidance on how to choose friends effectively. So we have to look at the fitness level or the wellness level of the type of friends we choose. And when I'm saying the wellness and fitness level, I'm not talking about whether they go to a gym and whether they eat properly. I'm talking in the spiritual terms. Are they the type of people that are going to exercise our faith? Or are they going to be nutritional to our value as a Muslim? So that's what we're going to look at today, inshallah, closer. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that a person is on his way in his life with a friend, therefore he should think very carefully whom he makes his friend. Now, we're told that friendship is extremely important in our lives, and we know this as individuals. But we need to make sure that the friends that we choose are also people that will respect our standpoint as well, our values. You know, often when two people want to go somewhere, want to do an activity, there seems to be one friend who will make the decision and the other one just follows. Now, that shouldn't be like that in friendship. In friendship, both of you should be able to make decisions. So we are told that we need to choose friends wisely. We don't just want to follow them blindly. We need to choose friends that both of you be able to make decisions, and both those decisions will be halal. They won't be haram decisions. You know, sometimes our friends say, come on, man, just come out with us. Don't worry about it. We're not going to stay out late long. We're just going to go for a short amount of time. We're not going to be out the whole night. Just come with us for 4 or 5 hours. And what happens? It's a haram activity that we're going to do. But we think because they're only going to go out for a few hours, it's okay to do. It's never okay to do haram things. And I'm not going to expand upon that. You know in your mind, you know exactly those situations that have come up in your life where you've had those invitations. And you thought, well, let me just compromise. Let me just go along with the flow. And so we can't have friendships like it. We need to choose friendships where both of you will make a decision and the one won't override the other person. We need friends who are sincere, friends who are genuine, friends who are true, and friends that are there to help you come closer to Allah. So we need to have the criteria. A true friend cares for your well-being and for your every need. He will be there when you need him the most. However, there's the other side. A bad friend will be the one who will lead you along the road of waste. He will make sure that you don't ever get anywhere. You might have had when you're younger, or maybe you have one at the moment, you might have had a rat or a mouse or a gerbil or some little rodent, and they run around in that little circle-y thing. and they run around in circles all day long and they don't get anywhere. They run and run and run and they're not getting anywhere. And so a bad friend will lead you in no direction. You'll stay in the same spot. You will never seem to go anywhere in life. Or they will drag you down with them. And so on the day of Qiyamah, these people will be the people that you will wish were never your friends. And it says in the Quran in the 43rd chapter and verse 67, it says, all friends on the day of Qiyamah will be the enemies of one another except for the God-fearing. You see, that day they will all run in a different direction and they will blame each other. Bad friends will always blame each other. If you think back to your school days or those who are in school or college, university, there was always a clown in the class. There's always somebody who would be a disruptive element in the class. He would be the one that would make everybody laugh. He would always be in trouble. He would always be sent to the headmaster's office. He was the clown in the class. Maybe you were that clown in the class, and so you'll be able to understand this even better than the other people will. But the clown in the class, he always dragged everybody down with him. And the minute there was real trouble, the minute there was a real issue, he was the one that would split on everybody. He would be the one who would tell on everybody. He would be the one who would tell exactly what happened. Even though he was the clown of the class and he entertained everybody, everybody knew they couldn't rely on him when the real problems came. So we don't want to be that type of friends. We don't need those type of friends in our life. And so in the Quran it says, on the day of Qiyamah, friends will run in all different directions. They won't be there to protect you. They won't be there to help you. They won't say, I'm here to defend him. Everyone will be for himself, each man for himself. So here in the Quran we see that friends will not help each other or benefit each other on the day, especially those ones who are pulling you down. So there are many verses in the Quran where it says that we need to have good character, or we need to choose wisely. And so when it comes to friendship, we need to also have good character and choose wisely, so that on the day of Qiyamah, that is not the day that we are going to be screaming and shouting and saying, why did I ever have this type of person in my life? Why did I ever allow this person to be my friend? Why didn't I choose friends more wisely? In the Quran, Allah Ta'ala says in the 25th chapter, verse 28 and 29, it says, oh, woe to me! Would that I had never taken so-and-so as an intimate friend or a close friend or as a comrade. He indeed led me astray from the reminder, which is the Quran, the reminder being the Holy Quran, after it and came to me. And Shaitan is ever a deserter of man, in order that he will tear us away from the truth. He is always a deserter. Shaitan is always the deserter of man in man's hour of need. When you cry out for help, he will desert you, guaranteed. Where a true friend will be there and he will guide you. And Allah Ta'ala has always been, he says, stay away from these people. Stay away from these people who are going to drag you in the wrong direction. And we have to choose friends wisely. There will be cries from people on that day. They will be crying out for help. They will be begging Allah Ta'ala, why did I ever listen? Why did I go astray? Why didn't I do this? And yet there were so many positive people that they could have been friends with. There are so many positive people that you could have been friends with, instead of the people that you have chosen to be with. So we need to look at our friends. We need to reassess them and see which ones are taking us to the hell and which ones are taking us to paradise. Which ones are encouraging us to do right and which ones are encouraging us to do wrong. And so Allah Ta'ala also says in the 7th chapter of the Quran in verse 38, it says, O Lord, these misled us, so give them a double torment of the fire. He will say, for each one is a double torment, but you know not. Now you see, there's people who will be so angry that they listen to these people, so angry that they followed these people, that they will want a double torment for that person. They want a double punishment on them. And sometimes when we watch the news, they have a camera that will come up close and it will zoom into somebody, and you'll see them crying and they're angry. Maybe there was a court case that took place, and maybe their child was murdered or killed or injured, and the person is on trial, and we ask the person before the court case, they say, what would you like? And they say, we want the death sentence. We want them to spend their whole life in jail. And so you see people's reaction when things like this happen. They become very angry and they want double the penalty, double the sentence. So dear friends, let us today be very careful of the type of friends that we choose. Are they going to help us, or are they going to pull us down? So we need to have friends that are going to keep us away from evil deeds and away from the path of evil. Now we must make sure that we try and find the people who are going to be positive role models in our lives. And the place to find people who are going to be positive role models in our lives are people that we know who are following the Quran and the Sunnah. These people we would normally find not on the side of the street, waiting for the girls to come out of the school grounds or the boys to come out of the school grounds. It's not the type of person that you'll see wandering around the shopping center. You won't see them outside the cinema. You probably won't find them on the beachfront, but even though you might find them there. But very seldom will you find them in places like that. But you will find them sincere at home, studying. You will see these guys, you'll see these girls. They will be the ones that will be at the mosque a little bit earlier, leave a little bit later than everybody else. These are the people that when you talk to them, they actually listen to what you have to say. That they're not an acknowledgement to what you have to say. And they actually have an interest in every part of your activities, even though they're not even your friends. Maybe you're just associates with them, but when you speak to them, they listen to what you have to say. The type of friends that are going to lead you in the wrong direction are the people that when you talk, they're already thinking about what they want to say next. So we have to choose our friends correctly and wisely. Our only true and loyal friend should be Allah Ta'ala. That should be our only friend that we really need, that will guide us and show us on the right path. But I said before and other times, is that we need interaction with human beings. We need interaction with each other. But the friends that we choose, we must choose wisely. Now imagine, and we ask that no one ever do anything like this, but imagine you went and you robbed a shop. You did something wrong. You went and you burgled a shop. You and your friends thought it was a good idea to go burgle a shop and steal things from it. Now the police come and they arrest you and they take you away in the van, and they put you in the back of the van and they take you and you go to court. After the next 2 or 3 days, you go to court and the judge finds you guilty. You go to jail. Who do you think is going to come and visit you? Do you think your friends that thought it was such a brilliant idea to break into the shop, do you think they're going to be there to come and visit you while you're in jail? Do you think they're going to be the ones that are going to come in and say, well, I'm going to be there every day for you? No. The person who's going to come and visit you is your mother and your father. Your family are going to be the ones that are going to be there. Your father will take the last bit of savings that he has to get a lawyer to make sure that you get the best legal representation possible. And these are the same parents that you shouted at. These are the same parents that you said, I don't want to listen to you. You're too old-fashioned. These are the same parents that you didn't want to take any advice or guidance from. These are the same parents that you say, you lived your life, let me live mine. But now when you're in need and when you have a situation like this, now you call to them. They're the ones that are actually going to be there. Your friends have deserted you. And hopefully none of us, inshallah, none of us, if Allah willing, He will protect us all from this, will be in that situation where we'll have to find out whether our friends are really friends. So another very important thing that we need to realize is that our family are the best friends that we have. They say that we don't choose our family, but we can choose our friends. Sometimes we need to look at our brothers and sisters, our mother and our father, our cousins and our relations, and make those the closest friends that we can get. You see, in the European community, we have a very weak family bond. And we need to look at the Indian community and the African community and look at how strong those family relations are and those family ties are. You know, the West is full of old age homes and places that we put our parents into as soon as they get a little bit troublesome. You know, these things were foreign 10, 20, 30 years ago in many cultures. But now it seems to be permeating through all cultures. We need to make sure that we keep close friendships. We need to keep close ties with our family. And we need to build a community that is strong. And we need to make sure that our family relations, our friendships, are those that will be lasting and relationships that we can build upon. So if you're ever in the situation where you have to be the unlucky person, if you happen to be that person who lands up in jail, remember these words. The person you're going to call, the person you're going to depend on, is going to be your mother or your father. We're going to take a short break, and after the break, we'll continue, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. And we're going to continue now with our topic of friendship and the importance of choosing friends wisely. Now, before the break, I spoke about how we have sometimes abandoned our families for friends. And today, friends have become more important than our family members. You know, we are very proud. Some people are very proud that they have older friends. I hear young people, they say, I've got a friend, he's 22 years old, and he's so cool. He's got a motorbike, and he's got a car, and he's got his own apartment. And we think this is something that we're really proud of. We're 16 years old, or 17 years old, and we've got a 22 or 23-year-old friend. We're so excited about this. And this guy does drugs, and he's so cool because he drinks, and he goes to clubs, and everyone thinks, wow, what a wonderful, you should see my friend, he's such a rebel. And we want to hang around with people like this. We think this is a good role model. And we know what that friend's going to do. He's going to lead us in the wrong way. Just like I said, imagine us going to jail because we're following one of those type of friends. They're going to abandon us. They're not going to be there. When you're in jail, they're not going to come and visit. And the person who has to raise the money, the person who has to cry every night when they go to bed is your mother and your father, thinking, what have we done wrong? What did we do that our son has done this? And so if you're the son or you're the daughter who's going through this rebellious stage at the moment, think about your parents. Think about them and think about what they have done for you. Be grateful for all that they have done. Now, friends that we have must be friends for the sake of Allah, and you must love them for the sake of Allah. You know, we often when we meet people and we say, I love you for the sake of Allah. Friends must also be for the sake of Allah. So we must have friends for the sake of Allah. And we must have people that are going to be in our lives that are going to be beneficial to us. So in the Quran it states, and I would like to read this verse to you, it says, that day shall man flee from his brother, from his mother and his father, and from his wife and from his children. Every man that day will have enough to make him careless of others. That's from the 80th chapter, verse 34 to verse 37. Now there's two different verses put together. You read that whole thing in context, which you must do whenever you read the Quran. But what happens in the day of Qiyamah, when the day of judgment comes, we are going to be split up. Everyone's going to be standing on his own. You see, many cultures and many religions, they believe that there will be a day of reckoning. We all believe this. We all believe that there will be a day that we will stand and have to give account for our lives. So on the day of judgment, on the final day, on that final hour, when the books are open and accounts are given and we have a balance of what we have done, when we have to see everything, no one else is going to be there for you. No one else is going to stand there. You stand there alone. So you now realize, you hopefully will now realize how important it is to choose friendships wisely. See, these friends, they can either help tip the balance to the left or tip the balance to the right. Are these people adding or subtracting from your life? The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, a true believer is a mirror of his brother. He prevents him from any harm. So what are you reflecting? When you look at your best friend, think about your best friend or your best girlfriend. If you're a girl, you should have a best girlfriend. If you're a boy, you should have a best boyfriend. And if you look at that friend now, and you picture, if you put the two of you together, and you stand and you look towards somebody else, a stranger, what are they going to see? You know, I used to have a comment once, somebody actually said, you and your best friend, you look exactly the same. That was the best compliment I ever received. Because your friend should reflect you. He should reflect the nature that you have. If you're a kind person and your best friend's a very cruel person, then probably you'll find that when you're not around your family, that's the type of person you are. So your true friend, your friend that you have, should reflect your nature. So your friends that we have, the friends that we hang around with, they should be the type of people that reflect our good nature and not bring us down into things that are wrong and do things that are wrong. The next thing that I want to talk about is that your friends need to be able to keep secrets. Now, it doesn't mean that you're doing things slyly or you're doing things deceptively or you're doing things in the dark. It just means that you should be able to trust that person not to run with information. You know, sometimes people want to be your friend just to find out information about you so they can bring you down. Especially in the business environment, we have what we call business espionage or spying that goes on in businesses, where people will go to work for a company and they'll get into the company, and what they're actually doing is planning that company's downfall. They're planning on how they can destroy that company. They're planning on how they can steal the information from that company and put it forward as their own idea before that company has a chance to register that patent. So we have to be careful, because some friends might be there in our lives that are actually there as spies, that are their only desire, their only want to be your friend, the only reason they want to be your friend is to destroy you, is to pull you down. So we need to make sure that we have the type of friends in our life that are not there as covert agents. They're not there as agents to try and pull us down and destroy us. So we make sure that there's no conspiracy friends that we have, friends that are actually there to destroy us. So we need to work hard by all means possible to try to find the type of people to surround ourselves with that are going to be good for us, that are going to guide us and protect us. Now, you get all different types of friends. You get friends that are strong, you get friends that are loud, you get friends that talk a lot, you get friends that never speak at all. I have one friend that you can sit with him the whole day and he probably won't even say 3 words. He's just silent. He will come into the house and he'll sit there and you go, Assalamu alaikum, and he goes, Alaikum salam. And he sits down and that's it. And you say, would you like some coffee? And give him coffee. And he's very easy. You don't have to entertain him. And he'll sit there and then 5 or 6 or 7 hours later, he'll say, well, I've got to go now, and he'll go. And that was the length of the conversation that we had. because we don't have to say things all the time. Sometimes friends don't have to talk. Sometimes friends can just be in each other's company. You don't have to entertain each other. Just being in each other's company has helped you, has encouraged you. So don't always think that when you have friends that you have to talk and speak a lot. Sometimes you can just be in the presence of the person, and that way it gives them company, and they can do whatever they want or gain whatever they want out of that. And now we need to have a look at the conduct that we have and the type of friends that we have, and we need to see whether these people are good or bad for us. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, a person follows the ways and conducts of his friend. And this is what I said earlier, is that we need to look at the types of friends that we hang around with. So to end off, I want to end off with 3 basic points that I want to bring in. The first one is, what type of friends are we hanging around? Are they fools? Are they greedy? Or are they cowards or liars? Coward and liar I like to put together. Are they foolish? Are they greedy? Or are they cowards and liars? You see, the fool, he will lead you into the wrong way. He will lead you, when things happen that seem to go wrong, he'll be making jokes of it. When problems come your way and you just say, well, I've just lost my job. Yeah, that's funny. And he'll make a joke of it. He's a fool. He's not going to give you any advice. He's not there to counsel you. He's not there to give you any guidance. He's just going to lead you on the wrong road. Then you have greedy people, that the only reason they're your friend is because they want something from you. Maybe you're popular in your school, and if you hang with that person or you hang around that person, they're going to become popular by being with you. The other type of thing that you can get from greedy people is that they take away that energy from you. You know, when you go around some people and you hang with some people and you spend time with them, what happens? You feel you're drained. You feel like you've got no energy at all. And then the third type of people are the cowards and liars. These are the people that you do not want to hang around with. First of all, you don't want to hang around with the fools, you don't want to hang around with the greedy people, and you don't want to hang around with the coward and liars. Now the coward, when troubles come, he's the one who makes a big screaming match. He shouts, he gets everybody aggressive, but when trouble comes, he runs. And the liar, of course, anything that comes out of mouth, you cannot trust. Even if he tells the truth in the future, you're not going to trust him. So be careful of the liar. And there are many surahs and there are many verses in the Quran that deal with telling the truth. But I want to end with this one verse so that we have some encouragement, that we leave here the positive. The glorious Quran says, "Oh, woe is me. Would that I have taken such a one as my friend." And that is found in the 25th chapter, verse 28. We need to choose friends that are going to be good for us, those who are going to take us forward. And so in the days ahead of you, stay strong, stay positive, and know that the friends that you choose are going to be the ones that count. Assalamu alaikum, and look forward to seeing you again.